right here.
This has actually been pretty quick. Internet gets set up at the new place tomorrow.
I saw you talking about Spectrum the other day.
Then it gets,
Or today, maybe.
Yeah. Dude, life. Okay, so one of these is vertical, one of them is horizontal. Let's figure out which one's which. That's vertical. That's horizontal. Okay.
There we are.
All right. Pretty neat. Let's hit the button.
This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, if that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag, you hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
I totally forgot it was St. Patty's Day today.
Green.
The first thing one of my students said was like, "Where's your green?" I was like, "Oh my God, why would I wear green today?" Oh, what an idiot.
Yeah, it's St. Patty's Day, bud. I forgot the Guinness.
I definitely,
Oh my goodness, my goodness.
I could tell it was St. Patty's Day driving here though, because every local establishment was packed.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, there's a lot of people at the bars.
I was wondering, so that's funny because I remember St. Patty's Day, but I couldn't figure out why Revere's was like overflowing with people when I was leaving work today. I was like, what the f is going on here? I was like, now I know. It didn't occur to me.
Green beer.
Yeah, that's what it is. We're brought to you by Nosler. If you want to go shoot a leprechaun, I would recommend using Nosler ammunition.
Yes, absolutely. Trophy grade or Whitetail Country.
Farmageddon would be a great choice for something small like a leprechaun.
It all does the trick.
Yeah, you could blast the shit out of some leprechauns. My kids tried to catch one this morning, but it got away. Not before I put green footprints on the toilet, though, and piss green.
See, I'm a terrible parent. Forgot.
Minotaur.
Minotaur. I haven't watched that one in a while. I would say I'm gonna watch that tonight after the kids go to bed, but I'm gonna be way too tired, and so are you.
Yeah, puking kids. Minotaur though, that's like something else you could shoot with some Nosler. I don't even know what you do with that.
I want to get out and do a shooting session. We should do that together this summer, before November, when everything's crammed in. We should do like a shoot day. Go to the range and literally just spend some time sending bullets down range and like have some fun with it.
It can be a lot of fun. We could go to Vortex Edge too. I think we could probably reach out to those guys and just see when we could come and hang out over there to shoot stuff.
Or we go up to the cabin and we go hit the old stone quarry and I rig up an old 3D target on a pulley system and we do some dynamic shooting.
Do that. I went to my buddy Shane's place in Adams County. He had a bunch of land. It was right when FPS Russia was really big on YouTube with Epic Mealtime. If you remember those.
I was thinking about Epic Mealtime yesterday.
And Epic Rap Battles of History. Like these are some like favorite YouTube channels.
The Russian one I've never heard of until I met you.
Oh, it's great. He got arrested or something, I think. And
that's too bad.
But he would just shoot stuff. So then I was like, let's go just shoot stuff. So we brought all the guns, we cranked Metallica, and we just started shooting stuff. And I was like, we can blow some stuff up. Like, let's do it. Shane was like, dude, it's kind of my land. Like, we can't just be blowing stuff up. So then what was really sad is like you shoot a watermelon and not much happens other than like a fuck ton of bees come. Dude, there's just so many bees.
It's the damn sugar content.
I know.
Son of a...
So, and soda bottles. Let's pull some 2-liter bottles of soda and some watermelon. Dude, I was like, let's go clean up all the trash. There's bees everywhere.
No.
Oh, no.
I will say that I took one really cool slow-mo video. This was a long time ago at my old house, but I was shooting my muzzleloader, and actually I never shot a muzzleloader, my wife. So I was like, come shoot. And I'll do a cool video of the muzzleloader. And it was like dusk, so it was just getting dark. And we set up like it was like a 3-liter or 3-gallon water bottle. And I set it up like 50 yards away. Ashley shoots, and in the slow-mo video, you can just see this giant flame explosion come out. The water bottle just absolutely explodes. It's like the coolest thing ever with the muzzleloader. Yeah. She's a great shot too. I would have missed it.
So cool. Yeah, that's fun. I don't know if I've shot a muzzleloader actually. I can't say that I have. So that might be one of the things we go shoot when we do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Anywho, other like brands that we roll with. We're rolling the giveaway right now, so you can get some Latitude, a Quick Trip gift card, and Gerber is like the flagship of that right now. So they're giving away in part of this turkey. What is it called? The Strut season sweepstakes. We're giving away a lot of stuff. I have one of the knives on me. I actually couldn't decide what knife to bring today in my pocket. And I love this one the most. It's
that the new one?
Yeah, the one I bought that I had got taken away from the hospital people that one time. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Anyway, lots from those guys, some stuff from Latitude, and and a bunch of other brands that are not partnered up with the show per se, but are just like friendly with us. So like First Light, Turkey Vest, a DSD, Posturing Jake Decoy, Newcomb Blinds, I'm gonna mess up the brand name of the cooler. 2 different coolers, but very different coolers. Nikes.
Are they soft or hard coolers? Do you know?
One is like a cooler that it's basically like a refrigerator and a freezer. Travoca. Okay, I didn't want to get it wrong. Travoca cooler. I don't know what category this is described as, but their claim to fame when I learned about this thing is that you can put ice cream in it and ice cream doesn't melt. So it's like a refrigerator basically, and it's powered by like a generator, and you can have solar hooked up to it and stuff. So this is something you'd like maybe keep in your car, or it's really big in the overland and like RV category. Yeah. So then the other cooler is Rugged Road, which is not like this cooler at all. It's a smaller cooler, but it's like Yetis use like I think spray foam in the middle of their layers. These guys use like a similar technology, but they spray it with a composite that's used for like, God, I'm fucking this all up.
Keep going.
In like war zones, there's this spray that they'll spray on that's like almost like a truck bed liner.
Okay.
But like bulletproof. Literally.
Some tough shit.
Literally bulletproof. And this cooler has that spray in it. So it's a super lightweight cooler.
Now we know what we can shoot. We can shoot some shit. Let's bring it.
Super lightweight. It floats upright and like so like lots of stuff, man. And a $500 Airbnb gift card.
That never hurts.
So like we're thinking, okay, let's go to turkey camp. What are the things you need for turkey camp? And to go turkey hunting, what are the things that help you get there? Like the gas card and the Shields gift card and the Airbnb, a place to stay. We're trying to like do all that. So you can enter, you go to our website, okshunters.com. You can find the giveaway stuff there. You go to any of our social profiles and link in bio, you'll find it there.
That's a badass prize package.
It's over $5,000 of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Experience. So it's a good time. If you haven't entered, go enter. I put in the show notes last time. I'll do it again. I'll keep talking about this until it's done, which is like April 13th, I think, is when it runs through. So we'll announce the winner live on the podcast, whatever the subsequent podcast episode is from that date, which I think is April 14th or something. So there's that.
Thanks for organizing all that. That's a lot of shit to get in the way to put together.
I'm like, John, never get to win the giveaways, man. I want all this stuff. So when we were at Shields doing the little piece, we're like, put this in the cart, put that in the cart. Like we kind of got
a good
chunk of that.
It felt a little bit too good just throwing all the cool stuff in the cart and then going like putting it back really hurt. Like there was some really nice stuff in there. Like let's go hang it up now.
Yeah. Most of the comments on the post were like, can you guys just follow me around for a little while? And at first I was like, oh, you mean like literally? Yeah. I'm slow. Like it took me a second. I was like, I am following your page. Oh no, you mean in real life? Yeah.
Get my basket, my cart going.
Yeah. Hey, our phone lines are open, 262-757-4122. If you want to call in, we're prepared to take any calls. We're going to dive into stuff we don't know much about, but have lots of opinions on.
Yeah, opinions are cool. And before we do that, I do want to give you, one of those moments that you hate where people say something nice about you. But I want to shout out Eric because we had a career day at the high school last week. And I asked Eric if he would come and speak. And he came and gave 2 different speaker sessions to about 50 to 60 kids about his 10 years as a marketing director, digital marketing connoisseur, entrepreneur, the whole deal. So it was really great. And we had a lot of students who were really grateful. So thank you for doing that and taking time out of your day to come talk to our youth, not only about outdoorsy stuff, but about your day job and what you do.
Good times.
Thank you.
Hopefully struck a chord with somebody. That's how that stuff should work. I want someone to hopefully be like, oh, that was helpful. I hope I didn't ruin any lives.
Yeah, you ruined No, it was really, really great. And I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
That's nice. Which reminds me, I forgot that I'm speaking at the Open Season Sportsman's Expo.
Awesome.
I wanted you to speak at it about killing deer. You're not there. So then they're like, hey, we still want to fill a seat. I was like, I guess I could do it, but it's not about killing deer.
What do you mean?
I'll do it about this stuff. So if you want to hear me talk about content and social media and podcasting and business and entrepreneurship and lifestyle brand, all the stuff that I think I'm actually decent at.
You're very good at it.
Then you can see me talk there. I think on Saturday at some point in time, I'm building a presentation around it. So
Every time you go and nerd out on it, I'm impressed with the layers that I've never that you don't see from the outside.
yeah.
Like there's just like anything. When you're good at it,
Do it
there's
right,
so
you
much
miss
like
stuff,
stuff that you don't even think about anymore that are really interesting. So I think anyone who goes to that will probably learn a lot about what you actually do.
Yeah. And there's going to be one thing I can't talk about that won't take place until after that. So I'm like, oh, well, that's
going to be burning a hole.
It's really eating me up, man, in the best way possible. So, yeah, good stuff. What else is? Oh, yeah, this is the last day in this studio.
It is. Last podcast ever recorded here?
In this spot, yeah. We move in. We were going to move in on Sunday, but the storm here in Wisconsin kind of
that storm
fudged that up.
Gross.
So we're going to move in this coming weekend, I think Saturday. Is that what everyone agreed on?
I think so.
Yeah. So Saturday we'll move in, and I have no idea what to expect or how it's all going to take shape, but we're going to figure it out.
Hopefully by next Tuesday, we've got a space that's got internet and is ready to go.
We have a guest in the new studio right off the rip, the DNR.
You think it'll be weird if we ask them to help move some couches and stuff?
Not at all. They're not shy. You know, they have a good work ethic with the DNR, right?
Let's put them to use.
Tony says, you're vertical on YouTube. Real question. Did he slip up and swear? I'm not sure what part that was referencing, but I always swear.
I don't think you swear at school.
Oh, yeah. Did I? Sometimes I do it intentionally. I wasn't sure if I did or not.
Sometimes you sprinkle in a shit or a damn just to get a little cool points.
They're high schoolers. They can handle that, right?
For sure.
I did break the rules on purpose. I was trying to get them on my side.
You wear the hat.
Which
is also a rule.
Not supposed to do that, apparently, but that's part of the career. Like, I get to wear hats.
100%.
And Derek's like, everyone put your phones away. And I was like, I know Derek said to put them away, but I want you to bring them back out.
Yes. Go on your Instagram. And I was like, what does he do? No, that was good. It was a good way to rope them in.
Yeah, I thought that'd be good. Okay. I'm going to do something for you now because this has not been talked about yet. We've not really formally mentioned this, and I have not gotten around to a social post. So we're going to do a podcast for a social post later, but you're officially part owner of this company now.
Yeah, you guys invited me into the inner core. So, hey, go Team OKS. Thank you for the invite. Yeah, Tyler, you and Tyler mentioned it when we got together at the end of the year. And I was like, dang, that sounds pretty cool. And if these guys are nice enough to...
Took you up for a nice steak dinner.
You did. It was a wonderful steak dinner. And after a few old fashions, it happened.
Yeah. So how do you feel? Like, what do you tell me? Like, the people listening, the
people. I feel excited to be you're a part of it when I come here and I get to hang out, and that's what I love. But like, it was more of like the gesture of it because I still don't like.
You're in it.
We'll
dude.
see what it is. Messages. We'll see what. Yeah,
it's just a lot of text messages. That's all it is.
Yeah, we have more messages with Tyler now for sure, which is great. But I would say is like the gesture meant a lot when you guys extended that and we're like, hey man, you're like putting in time for years. Like, do you want to be part of this crazy shit? And it was an easy yes. Like, yeah, for sure. I believe in what we're doing, and I think a lot of people do, and we're getting good feedback on it. So I think we want to keep it rolling, and it meant a lot to be roped into it and now like be part of some of the decisions. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm the same guy, just like rambling around the woods, but it's exciting. We got it feels like a lot of new stuff. We got the new studio coming. That's going to be amazing. I'm really, really optimistic about not only our space, but our location and what that might help afford us opportunities with. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I feel really good about it. I think we're moving in an awesome direction. I'm really excited for the start of a new month for you.
Yeah, man, just the same. Like, yeah, but I'm to your point. Like, you've been rolling with us for quite a long time, and so has Greg and Matt and a lot of people.
Hell obviously. Yeah!
But like your dedication, the commuting, I don't take any of that for granted. Which is hard to not. Actions speak louder than words. So I could say, "Thanks, Derek." Thanks. You're like, yeah, thanks doesn't feel my gas tank, bitch. You know, like I play devil's advocate really good in my own mind. So I just imagine like some of the self-talk that happens after a thank you, you know, and you're not that kind of person. Maybe you are, but I don't think you are.
No.
But it doesn't go unrecognized, and there has to be some give here to like, we can't be taking all the time. And you fit, you mesh, you got value to bring to the table. And a lot of that translates to like the people that are rolling with us and the community. You bring so much to them in such a positive and impactful way that like, I don't see too frequently in too many places. It does exist out there. You're not that much of a unicorn in that sense, but like you're our unicorn here. And you embody the tenets so perfectly, dude, that I don't know anyone else could do it the way you do.
Oh, come on.
You're
now,
teaching a whole body of humans how to do something that's really difficult, and you're doing it in a way that imbues no jealousy, no animosity, no resource guarding, none of that stuff, which in our space, as we all know, is really hard
It's
to
tough.
do, especially the resource guarding part.
That part's tough.
I'm bringing the app back, by the way. Like that's right on the precipice.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get the same old questions I got 10 years ago are the same questions I'm hearing already.
I
again
saw
today.
a few already.
And it's resource like why would I share my spot? And when you're out there teaching people how to do things in scouting, like we gotta be careful of spot burning, like spot, which brings us to I think a really easy transition of like what's going on with cell cameras and drones and some of the stuff that would like it border the ethics of hunting, I think, are changing. I shouldn't say that. How do I want to phrase this? The ethics aren't changing, but some of the things that are pushing the boundaries and it's kind of like dragging ethics along with it. And we're like, whoa, we got to bring the ethics back here first before that boundary gets pushed, because if the ethics do go with it, we have a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that's
So it's kind of messy. It's not perfect.
it's definitely a gray area, because I think the ethics with most outdoorsmen, the vast majority, are really, really strong. Like usually it's good people, sound minds, sound heads that are trying to do what's best for conservation, for wildlife.
Mhm.
But along with all of these advancements comes like a new set of like, how do we apply ethics to what's happening now? Like for a long time, it was pretty straightforward. Follow the legal laws, legal limits. And then as technology advanced like crazy, now we've got like a new set of, well, opinions really. Like, is this ethical to do this? To track deer with a drone? Is that ethical? Is it ethical to observe them with a drone? Is it ethical to use trail cameras or cell cameras? Is that stuff that's stuff that we didn't have to worry about a while back when we started? But now a lot of people are worried, and it's just creating more divisions, more divides within our small little culture already. And it's got people kind of standing on edge with the technology and with each other.
So
it feels like.
So this is I'm not. These are new thoughts, kind of like I think with my mouth. So for those listening, like I'm not sure what I'm going to say yet.
Little rip.
Real great way to be doing it, Eric. Running a live podcast. But in terms of ethics and some of these things, like the drones and the cell cams, push the boundary of what feels comfortable, and there's opinions on that. But if we were to take that same argument of ethics and people that disparage crossbows, well, the argument there is that is the most ethical thing you could probably do. But then it's like, well, but it's also so efficient at dispatching deer at a longer range during a season when it's supposed to be romantic close range trad bow compound. Like now there's this other voice of like, I just don't like it because you're depleting the resource faster than I would with my so like there's a lot to balance here, because if it's an argument of ethics, well then we should all want to use a crossbow. So then like if you're gonna die on that hill, like you have to bend to that. But then out falls that is this whole like, well no, because now you're killing it's quite dynamic, and it's not black and white, it is gray. And you always have a bad actor or a bad egg that's going to F it all up. And it just takes one of those people to then put the whole thing into question. And it inevitably always happens. That's why there's a no exit sign on the freaking, freezer section of the grocery store by the milk cartons. I'm like, why is that here? What do you mean? That means someone tried to do that? What the fuck?
What's your deal?
I never even thought that I would ever want to exit through the milk carton door. But now I'm thinking about it. Because you put the idea there. I'm not actually, but
No.
it takes the point.
Yeah, and it's tough because like I think I don't know that everyone has felt it, but like there's definitely some like sentimentalist attitude toward like what you do, right? So like even within like you mentioned crossbows, but like think about compound bows, right? So you go from like a traditional bow, longbow, and a recurve. You need them close. You need the perfect shot. You got to make it happen.
Yep.
You're waiting for the most ethical opportunity. Well, then compound bows come around and they do the same thing that crossbows have done. They speed up your arrow and they extend your range. So there's no doubt that go look at a YouTube video, any shot over 40 yards, there's going to be comments that you took an unethical shot. You shouldn't have shot that. Look at any deer that's quartering toward or is like a
You had
strange angle, a frontal angle. There's going to be people saying that's not ethical. It affords you more opportunities, and people take those opportunities. And that's where you get the people who, like the sentimentalist view of like that you're not supposed to do that. And crossbow, you're going to get the argument, and I've heard it a ton before, that now you're opening the door up for people who didn't normally archery hunt. Like that was our sacred archery. Now we're opening the door. And well, those people don't practice as much, or those people don't understand shot angle as much. So that they're just wounding deer. Like you get a lot of that mentality. And it doesn't matter if it's just for crossbow. It's like the same thing happens with compounds. With every little piece of technology, you get the people that like that's not how it's supposed to be. And there's some truth behind it. Like, are there some people who shoot compounds and crossbows who are shooting outside of what they should be? Absolutely, there is. But that happens kind of in that's the bad apple effect, right? But like those are the talking points people like to argue on.
Well, and the talking points are just more nuanced than that. I felt it before, and I've come across folks that have a crossbow, and immediately like I'm judging. I'm making a judgment that you're probably not as hardcore, as badass, as like of the earth. Like you're not alien, but like organically after like the nature of this, you're buying the fancy tech that you saw in the marketing ad, and like that's why you're covered up in Sitka head to toe. Like it's all matching because like you don't even know what you're doing. That judgment can come up, but then if you stop for a second, you go, wait a second. Well, was this guy doing literally all of the same things I was doing, sitting in a tree or on the ground, enjoying and experiencing nature, pursuing wild game, and hopefully, if he takes one, gutting it, dragging it, transporting it, cooking it, whatever, like eating it, sharing it, commensally, all that stuff. So then, okay, what's the problem here? And maybe that's the gateway drug for that person to then be like, because it was firearms for me. I never bow hunted out of the gate. I was a gun hunter. And then
for a number of years,
and not a successful one at that, surprisingly so, because it's a gun. Then eventually my dad got me a bow, best gift ever, Dad, thank you. And I didn't take it seriously for a number of years. And then eventually something changed or clicked. And then I got real deep. And it's when you get to that deep spot that you forget the mile markers earlier on, where like you were just the same. There is a weighting in effect of this. And some people start weighting in when they're 4 or 8 or 12. Some start weighting in at 35 or 40. And when you're at a different depth in the pool, you're swimming in the hard stuff being like, dude, this is what it's really all about. You're testing yourself. I could drown any minute, man. Look at my legs kick. I'm fucking strong. Like the water's beautiful out here. Look at you in the kiddie pool, you little bitch, with your crossbow. It's like, well, hold on a second.
That's exactly.
They might get to the deep end, dude. Like just hang on a little bit.
And that's what you've mentioned a million times before. I've heard you use different ways that the people at the top end of whatever their journey is, who have become successful or gotten really good at it or mastered it, those people cast far less judgment than the guy who just made it to the deep end. When you just realize that you're in it, that's where you like are the most defensive, right? Like you're casting shade on anyone who's not doing it the way you are.
Eventually,
like,
I get a floaty and I'm like in the deep end, but I'm like,
kind
guys,
of mindset.
You can float here too. This is actually, you don't have
plenty
to,
of room.
Be on the edge of death all the time. Like I have a beer in this thing. I can come out and swim. I'm good. I can swim with you, bro.
I'm swimming.
But also, like, and look at that. He'll make it out here. Come on, bud. The water's nice. You know it. I'm getting away from the thesis of like the tech stuff. So I just wanted to plant the ethical seed, because if we're gonna have an ethical argument, then crossbows have to come into it, because there's an ethical component there. So I'm trying to like bring that into the fold here to like widen our lens or our view, our aperture.
And you just said it when you were describing the process. Like, is this guy or girl doing the same thing as me out here trying to enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good lens to look at the conversation we're going to have about cameras.
Are we all swimming? Right?
Like, and it might be different looking at that, but like if let's use the crossbow versus the traditional hunter. Like if at the end of the day, you're going out, scouting land, finding sign, waiting for deer, setting up in the right spot. If the only difference, like you kill the deer, you blood trail it, you either get help or do it yourself, you drag it out, you're going to enjoy that. If the only difference is how the arrow got to the deer or how the bolt, like that's a very small difference when you really, really, really break it down. Like you guys shared 98% of the same journey.
And just because I can hear all the voices of people like playing devil's advocate right now. Like
I'm sure
I can hear, you know, someone in their car right now going, well, yeah, but like the crossbow companies are promoting 100-yard shots. They might be. that's very much like the arrow speeds. They're shown in the absolute most controlled, best possible environment to showcase what the capability is, what the capability of it is. However, unfortunately, then people think, oh, I can shoot 100 yards. That doesn't mean you should. So I'll be the first to say, if you do have a crossbow, please, like, you probably shouldn't be taking 100-yard shots. The further that gets extended out, it's like speeding double the speed limit in a school zone. If it's 25 and you're going 50, your time to break is fucked. If you're shooting,
Wasn't ready for that.
if you're shooting, I'm swearing a lot because I like don't have all the words, so swears are a shortcut to
Let
the
it
right
rip,
word.
bud.
Like I can always land on a swear and make my point, versus just sitting here sputtering out and thinking of the word. But if I'm going to take a 50-yard shot with a crossbow that is capable of 100, again, now I'm doubling the distance and increasing the amount of error that's going to enter the scenario, which then brings ethics back into a level set place of now you're exceeding the ethics conversation. If the crossbow is the most ethical thing, it's because it's at 50 or 40 or 30 yards. I would never take a 50-yard shot with my compound bow. I probably could. I'm not gonna, like, I wouldn't. I'm not as confident there. I'm not. Who's the dude that does the Lee? Is that one of the dudes? Not Lee Ellis. There's another one that's like the dude.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, right. Levi Morgan.
Yeah,
Is
Levi
it? No,
Morgan.
sorry. Yeah, I'm not him, dude. Like, so I would always like nod my hat to a crossbow hunter and be like, if you have enough self-awareness to recognize that you can't put the time in to practice, I actually think it's a better choice to go buy a crossbow. Because then what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's just an opinion that I hold.
And this will come up in every ethical conversation you have about anything, especially today with the outdoor stuff, though, is like, at the end of the day, oh, geez.
The knife just attacked me.
Thought it was going for your quad.
Oh, my God.
Talladega Nights.
Right. I got a knife in my leg.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really freaking matter how far the crossbow can shoot, because the person behind the crossbow should be the one making the ethical decision, not the weapon, right? Like, it doesn't limit you. You have to impose the limits on yourself and know what you're capable of. Same thing as like, guns don't kill people. People kill. Like, it's the same idea. It's like, at the end of the day, the ethics fall on the person, not the weapon. Like, you have to decide.
Guns don't kill people. I do.
That always just reminds me of Billy Madison, because the dude's got the shirt, the nail in his head.
Oh. So then, okay, good frame of this stuff. So then,
solid framework.
Again,
So
the bad actors, the bad apples in the cell cam world. I liken it to the guy that's sitting inside, and the ethics of this don't fucking matter because it's fish for the most part. But if I'm like sitting inside my heated home because I have a lake house and I'm watching, and by the way, some people probably do this, so like don't take offense. And I'm watching a tip up. It's different if I'm out there like in it, doing the activity. It's like you can't armchair quarterback.
You can.
Deer hunting.
There's Bluetooth transmitters that you can put on your tip-ups.
And it's like,
that notify you on your phone up to like 2 miles away.
But there's no ethics in the fishing community. It's more just like, okay.
Well, and some would argue it's more ethical because you know when there's a fish on. If you're not looking, well, maybe that fish is on there for a while. So that's a whole freaking...
That feels more like the I'm not hunting. Oh, big buck, I am hunting now. Like that. That feels like you're not as sentimental about it. What was the word you had used?
I made up a word, sentimentalist. I don't know.
Sentimentalism. You know, if you're not a sentimist about it.
Yeah. A mentalist.
Yeah. There's just something. Look, deer hunting is romantic. And I don't mean in like a schmoozy, kissy, huggy Valentine's Day. I mean like there's a romanticism around it. Much like fucking Instagram, dude. When Instagram got bought by Meta and it like by Facebook at the time, and everyone's like, dude, photographers were on Instagram editing
That's what
photos.
it was.
It was like this place to put art. And then it's just been commoditized into this social scrolling algorithmic ad ridden bullshit. So like even before that though, people were like, no, this is not what Instagram's for. And it's like, well, it is now. You know, so I get the sense that we want to maybe have some defensive posturing on like holding this thing sacred that we have. There should be some guardrails around this because we're kind of like losing the sight of the point.
A little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it.
And also, though, these technological advances are fucking dope. I'm also like, I have a cell cam. I have a bunch of cell cams. I like them. I don't have a lot of time to go out and like check stuff and do, but there it is. I'm also not the kind that's going to go capitalize on it in the way that some would think. And even if I did, I would fuck that all up anyway. So again,
Well, and there are people who are really pretty accomplished hunters who say like a cell cam has never really helped me capitalize on killing a deer. And then you have some that are like, yeah, it absolutely helped.
well, I mean, we could talk about Lee Ellis, who is a super nice human and a damn good hunter, but like the way he's leveraged these things, I say leverage, like he's taken
Oh.
it to a bit of an extreme of use cases that
He's
he's showing the capability there. Right or wrong, I don't know.
I would argue that
He probably could still kill the damn deer without the cell cam, to be quite frank, because I think he was before. It's just when you're tracking a deer that like is a known deer and you're trying to track it through neighborhoods, I think it's giving that a quite different. of an edge.
100% edge, right? Like finding them, knowing where they are, when they are. I would argue, and I talked about this
And you use cell cams
in
so,
my
like,
in the podcast I did, or the dropping pins, where I kind of walked through the buck I got in Wisconsin this year.
Mhm.
I kind of credited that hunt to a cell cam. I didn't get that buck's picture, and it was a different day. But the reason I went in there, and the whole point of me putting a cell camera there,
to get that
was to
intel.
know when bucks had moved into this little bedding pod. And the day before, I had a buck, really nice buck, probably a 3-year-old. He was a 10-pointer, real wide, split brow tines. I was like, damn, that's a nice buck. At like 10 in the morning, 10:30, he was milling around feeding. My camera was between two beds. I didn't feel right putting it on top of a bed and knowing a buck was in there and then going and hunt. That didn't feel right to me.
You're trying to get an
I've hung
interception point.
SD cams over beds before and collected them at the end of the season. Love that intel, but I just didn't feel right putting a cell cam over. So I had it in between two beds. They're about 80 yards ish apart,
Mhm.
and figured something transitioning or going back and forth. And I got that buck's picture. I got like 6 pictures of him. Middle of the day, got out of one, it looked like, and he's heading toward the other one, browsing the whole way. I'm like, that deer was bedded. Went in the next day, and a buck came into that same bedding area, and I did not have pictures of that one for like a month and a half. So it's not like I was like on that deer's heels or anything. But I would credit that kill 100% to me going in there because I knew that deer was in there the day before. I figured bucks are starting to move into this spot. Got in there, first time in, killed. So I would say, yeah, that was 100% credited.
And so we have a caller, and I think it's Keegan. I'm gonna bring him in. So Keegan, we're gonna bring him. But before you like start talking and stuff, I want to just. How did that make you feel, Derek? Did it make you feel different? Like, did you feel like less of a hunter, or less of a trophy, or less of an experience because of that? Or
To be
it was
honest,
still a really impossible situation to pull off.
it didn't feel lesser. I felt confirmed. Because I always thought, I heard the arguments for so long that like they don't actually help you kill a big buck. And I thought if the right person had one and knew what they were doing with it, like where they were putting it and why, I absolutely think it would. And that was like, I put that camera there for that purpose and it worked. So like, it was like, yeah,
Someone like me couldn't though.
You-
That's what I'm saying. That's a big difference. So
you could.
yeah,
You could. It
but
could-
also like not like the tool's
You
more powerful
absolutely-
than what I could probably do. I could probably like reduce a barrier on a lot of deer.
Yeah.
And go kill like regular deer. Keegan, can you hear us? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
It's going great. I was just letting you finish your little sentence there.
I have very little sentences, let me tell you, just like my bucks and my, knives.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, better now that I get to talk to you two
Oh,
beautiful
you're a
buggers.
sweetheart.
I haven't heard your voice in a while. It took me a second. I was like, shit, did I have the wrong Keegan? but it's you. We know. Now I know.
Wouldn't that be something? You just had a totally different of the only like 12 of us in the entire world that have this name.
We were just to let him know that he was a total letdown because he wasn't the right Keegan.
And everyone like, oh, you're not the Keegan I thought you were. But what's up? Welcome to the show. I thought I was
Oh.
about to do that.
Oh, there's no service. It's breaking up now.
Bye.
Oh.
Do you have I see in the comments on this one? Share some of your thoughts, man. You work. So by the way, folks, Keegan Cadell, world-renowned wildlife photographer, wildlife photog media, wildlife photog, I think, media on Instagram. You actually, I was gonna get my boss in here, Ryan, because we're gonna hear that story at some point in time.
And Keegan videotaped that, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember sitting at the airport when we were come back from a client meeting in Montana, and I was like, I know a guy that could probably come jump in a helicopter with you and film. And then I introduced you guys. I'm glad it worked out, but nonetheless, Keegan, you're a hell of a photographer and videographer, a damn good friend of ours.
Thank you.
And you work with a lot of hunters and anglers and guides. Like, you're out in it around the country. What's your thought on this stuff, man?
But it's kind of an interesting one. I mean, you take the trail cameras and traveling around the country, there is a varying degree of legality depending on what state you're in and depending on private or public land. Some of it, states like Montana, you can have trail cameras that can get cell phone service out in certain times a year, and other times a year you can't. So sometimes that's just still putting a camera on a water hole and making sure it doesn't have service, or only using ones that are broken essentially and just are running them as regular trail cameras, or states like Arizona that they can't be out at all anymore. You look at Kansas where they're not allowed on public land anymore. So it's kind of an interesting one, but I definitely can say that it makes decisions a lot easier, just like Derek was saying, where he went in there because that movement was happening. We use that a lot in varying levels of whoever I'm filming. But it's certainly interesting to be able to watch just from we're not going to go kill this deer, but we're going to go have an opportunity at killing a deer or seeing deer based on movement. There's a lot of times, especially in Iowa, filming Lee and Tiff, obviously they've been sponsored by Tacticam for years and years. So the amount of cameras that they have out all over Iowa is unbelievable. And you'll sit there to a minute and the camera 50 miles away will light up, and then you'll see the cameras right around your area light up, and you see like deer movement from all over the place all at the same time, which is crazy to be able to see and just learn from and, get more educated as an outdoorsman.
That's intense. That's actually a little bit creepy.
Lee and Tiffany had, and this was not like a trail cam, but I know for a couple of years, I don't know if they still do it, or you would probably know, Keegan, but they used to have like live cams set up on their farms over like feeders.
Yep.
And you could like log into their website and like watch their live cams, and you would see like all these deer come in real time. Do they still do that?
I don't know if it's active currently. It was for the first couple years that I was around. And for some reason, I think that it may have come down now, because I think that was an Outdoor Sportsman's Channel sponsored deal. But yeah, that was a thing. It was really neat to be able to watch and see that. And, occasionally we messed with it a little bit, but, it was just fun to be able to go on there. And one of the camera guys one time dressed up as a turkey, and they made a little skit on the live cam about getting shot. So stuff like that. But yeah, that was a really neat one for a while there. People really liked that.
It's pretty funny, dude. Dressed up like a turkey. Sounds like Skylar dressing up as all the animals, doing all the content. He's awesome. Such a nice young guy.
Do you have a question for him, or can I ask one?
Yeah, you can go.
All right. I don't want you to out anybody. If this is the case that you have experienced this, don't say any names or whatever. Get yourself in hot water. But in all of your experience bouncing around the country and outside the country, filming people hunt, have you been in any situations where you felt like things were not done ethically as far as like the level of technology used, or like how they were doing it, the process, either like drones, cell cams? Like, have you ever been like maybe in your heart you were like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, or if you feel like in your experience people have been using it responsibly and ethically?
I'd say 93% of the times that I'm in the woods with people, that everything's on the up and up. There's a couple instances where, you've met me. I'm pretty outspoken on things in the way that I believe that they should be done, and am very particular about the law as much as I know it at that time. But there's been a few times that people have abused that a little bit, or kind of pushed the boundaries. And, usually that's a minor thing. Some of them have been less than minor, but the worst incidences were when I was initially getting into it and didn't necessarily know the place that I had or could really speak up. Some of the other times are maybe somebody wants to peek over a hillside that they might not necessarily be able to while they step across the fence and go look over that hill anyway. And I'm like, well, I'm not going over there. Good luck with that.
Good on you, man.
Yep. People can sleep in the bed they make. I make a living by doing things in the outdoors, and I try and voice my opinion to do things the right way as much as possible. So I would hate to become a hypocrite in that and, just go along with the flow of whatever is happening if I know that it is incorrect or illegal for that matter. And, things happen. Most of the time, everything's pretty good. Usually it's guides that I've been with that maybe weren't the best guide to start with that are kind of pushing the boundaries. So,
yeah,
and there's always a loophole or a reason that they can justify and go from there. But yeah, it's most of the time everything's good. But it's happened.
Well, I'm glad to know that I was not part of that 7%.
No, that was you.
That's all me.
Illegal turkey yelping.
This fucking guy ate a banana while he was turkey hunting. The hell?
I ate a carrot when I was blacktail hunting. Got a lot of shit for that, didn't I, Keegan?
I wouldn't ever.
Calder just commented and said trail cameras are a sore subject for me. Calder, the call line is open. You're welcome to elaborate on that more if you'd like. If you want to add some more banter to the fodder. Just making up words now. Yeah, I think we talk about like my tag, my hunt, as so long as it's legal and ethical. I think that's like a statement you've at some point, if you're listening to this podcast, that's probably come up somewhere in your journey of hearing us, whether on social or here. And I have a particular like bone to pick, or it rubs me the wrong way when another grown man cares about another grown man. I'm like, what do you fucking care? Like, why do you care if that's what they're doing? And I think I have to like pull the thread on that for myself a little bit to consider that I think we care when it starts to like encroach on this way of life in a way that it makes it feel unethical or borders that, where it's like, if you have if you're a property owner, you're hunting right up to the very property line, like you don't need to be hunting right there, right? Like, I guess technically you can, you're on your property, but it's making everyone a little uneasy and you're pushing the limits. It's like my kids, like they just push it, they just push the limits. And it's like, you know you're doing that. And you just don't have to do that because you're going to ruffle feathers. And I almost wonder if like the reason people get up in arms about what other people are doing is because it makes it seem like it's not what is supposed to be done. Now, a lot of most of that is subjective bullshit. Like just because your dad and your grandpa did it this way doesn't mean that's the way that has to be done. Like, by golly, people, what broadhead you use shouldn't effing matter that much. We don't have to fight about camo and boot brands and tree stands and like some of this stuff needs to like just get cleansed and jettisoned out to some degree. We can all be the bigger person in most of the arguments we're dealing with. I can sense, yeah, right. I can sense the whole like, no, this isn't okay. And I suppose that's valid and objectively true because there's bills being introduced and laws that might come to fruition because of it. So like now it's not just some subjective opinion, and it's because it's encroaching on why we do this stuff. And if it gets to be such a degree that the anti-hunters or the people that don't have an opinion about hunting start to be like, we already get called up for using high-powered rifles and scopes that you can kill a deer at 500 yards. Like, what? That's not hunting. Well, it is. Also, that's a whole different skill set. Like, good luck. But if we have everything in our favor, then fair chase comes into question, right? Is that where this kind of like maybe distills into? Keegan or Derek, or?
I mean, if you're Derek, then long range shooting just comes natural to you. Just throwing that in there.
That's a great film, by the way, folks. Go check it out. It's on our YouTube. It's the Oregon blacktail hunt called Fork and Chicken.
I just closed my eyes and pulled the trigger.
Keeping a fair chase. Yeah.
Fair chase. Yeah, man, that's I think the fair chase is everything about it, and I think there are so many different ways to look at it. If we just look at like the trail cam thing, right? And like I'd be curious, Keegan hunts on, he follows people around private lands, leased lands, public lands. Keegan's all over the place on all different types. Keegan, what do you think as far as like some states are going with you cannot use trail cams or cell cams like just on public land? As far as like fair chase or like that law being written with fair chase in mind, like what's your opinion on that? Like, should it be one or the other? Should it be none? Like, do you think that that's a fair differentiation, or like just what's your thoughts on like states looking at banning them on public because those are properties managed by the state versus all of the state, private land included?
I will say the one like 1,000% opinion that I have on them not being on public land is it puts a different peace of mind walking through the woods, not feeling like somebody's seeing everything that you do.
Like,
because there are so many trail cameras in certain areas, and some hidden better than others, but it's definitely like once you're, say you hike 5 miles into a piece of ground, and then all of a sudden you come across a trail camera. Well, now the back of my head, every step that I take, I go, okay, where's the other one? Where's the next one? How many did I just walk past?
Mm-hmm.
That from a just like purely being outdoors, them being banned, not necessarily that means that there aren't going to be any, but it definitely goes, okay, well, there's not 7 people watching me from their office right now. That's cool.
And maybe not even like the spectator part of it, like, yeah, being watched or getting your photo taken or a video of you, like, is weird. But like from a selfish standpoint of like, if I walk back 5 miles somewhere, I'd like to feel like it's in the wild. And seeing a piece of seeing a cell cam that's sending a signal, it just doesn't feel the same. Like that, you're not getting the experience. And not to say like that's why you should do it, is because like I want the experience. But man, it does feel different, like walking around and knowing that like, or the potential that like, hey, other people may not have been here. Like that's a fun feeling for a lot of people. And I think that's one thing the trail cameras definitely rob you of.
For sure.
yeah, that's less to do with.
I think from a like hunting perspective.
Oh no,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You got the jump. Go.
I was just going to say from a like hunting perspective, the people who are going to use them right and fair, and do things in a quote unquote ethical manner to their own degree of thinking about it, they're not going to abuse that and put a camera on top of somebody else's camera on top of somebody else's camera on every scrape line or crossing on a fence. It's the people who don't care. It's the same people who hang a tree stand in somebody else's tree that already has a stand in it. Well, yes, they can. That like moral ethics, whatever you want to call it, that a lot of us have in our heads seems to kind of go away when everybody just throws cameras everywhere. So I don't know what the answer there is with obviously banning them. I don't think is right, but instilling that like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have 72 trail cameras on this one crossing.
Yeah, it's like if there's that much abuse, we don't want the government telling us. We don't want the government telling us what we can and can't do. So if the government starts to say you got to ban these, or like these are banned, that feels like a problem. But then there's a lot of people that are championing that to say like, no, it's hit a critical mass where it's no longer of value. It's being abused. And if they're being abused where they're like putting the cameras over the watering holes, or there's a literal demonstrable impact on the herd or the animal or the game, which I think I've heard some of that stuff. So like we're obviously thinking about it through like the lens of the whitetail hunter. I forget that now here talking to Keegan, there's also like the Western hunter where there's only one watering hole for however long. And then you just see all this like, come on.
It's like paparazzi.
Yeah, it probably feels like that. And so that then if you see that scene play out, you're probably going, what the hell are we doing? I mean, come on. And spot burning is already a big thing. Pressure is a big thing. Now you throw that in there, everyone's out there at the same damn time because they saw the same damn elk. Like people are trying to claim an elk or whitetail because they had a picture of it. I think you've dealt with some of that.
Well, just like, the one we were just talking about, that buck I got in Wisconsin, posting that video, Bo posted that. I think you shared it out on ours or collabed with him.
Yeah.
But 2 different people have messaged about hunting that buck and having him on trail cameras. And they sent over some trail cameras, some cell cam.
So it's kind of cool for you to see some of that.
Yeah, one of the guys, it looks like he probably had it over one of his beds, and he had multiple pictures of them bedded in velvet, bedded in hardhorn, things like. Mentioned to a buddy he was hunting him, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared, and he was wondering where he went. Well, kind of cool that like
Sometimes
they weren't pissed
sometimes they
about
don't go
it or
nocturnal,
like mad
sometimes
about
they go
it.
dead. Sometimes
Yeah, it's like the camera went dead.
no, I mean the buck.
The buck went dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean, any piece you're hunting in southeast Wisconsin, everyone's gonna know. There's gonna be people who know.
Yeah, guy I work with. We had the same deer. Like you had shared pictures. He was in the same general area, and all of a sudden, like he was at work. I was like, "Oh yeah, my buddy just sent some of these," and he's like, "Dude, I have that one too." And I think I had sent them to him. Like, look at my buddy's got this deer. Like, this is wow. Like we're all becoming like weird, hoary pen pals over deer. Like, look at that one. Did you see this one? I got that one. I've seen that one. Like that actually feels a little bit fun. And if you get to see shots of the deer that you hadn't seen before, it's like you're extending the relationship through proxy, or something. It's strange. Keegan, we can let you go. We got another caller, and are you good if we send you on your way? I'm glad you called.
If you don't mind, I would love to interject. You brought up drones earlier.
Yeah. You fly
I
drones,
have
right?
one interesting food for thought on drones, especially from a like photo video standpoint. There's a lot of like strange ethics with drones and chasing animals and people wanting to get really cool footage and or tracking, and the using thermals to find deer and all that stuff is amazing. It's a awesome tool to be able to make sure that a deer gets recovered or isn't dead. I've seen it both ways in the last year where the drone found a deer that we made a good hit on that ended up surviving, and now we can justify going back in and hunting that deer like it's alive after giving it a couple days to recover and then make another attempt at getting it, and they ended up doing it. But what I see from a photo video world is people are using drones to get really cool videos, and I see it a lot more in the waterfowl space than I do the big game, at least in the Midwest, where if you're disturbing any animal with a drone, it becomes very quickly harassing wildlife, which with waterfowl is a federal animal, which becomes federal offenses. And people start to think about it as, oh, look at this really cool drone shot I got chasing these ducks through the air, or they all flew off when I came across the water, or this deer is now running across the field because it heard the drone. And it's one of those things that it's really cool, but we need to realize what we're doing with the drone and pay attention very carefully to be able to respect that animal, because it's very easy for that to all of a sudden become a nope, drones are illegal for all hunting outdoor activities.
That's fair. There should just be a little more like nuanced understanding. And hunting laws can get pretty nuanced and technical, and like, don't lean a gun here, but you can lean it there. You can't be this many yards away, but you can this time. Like, that's part of hunting regulations that I think have always been, you got to read them. I mean, there's been episodes in the past that we've had where back when it was the Where to Hunt days, I think annually for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years straight, I brought on the same Kevin Wallen thing, the big game ecologist at the time, and I would have him break down the rules and regs for the upcoming season, because I was like, dude, what's changed? This is confusing. That's no longer a thing. I thought this stuff for a long time. And I was like, no, this, except that, but only on Sundays. Like, it's all this weird shit. Like, so having some just framework around stuff like that would probably be helpful than an all-out ban. But if it's so confusing and it's causing all this problem, it might just be easier to be like, here's one button. Just, it's all done. Okay, guys, I can't do all this. Like my kids fighting over Minecraft. Look, you're building too close to their house. I don't know. The whole thing's getting unplugged, guys. I can't deal with this drama. Like, you can't follow the rules. We're out. Like, that's the parent thing, where it's like, I literally unplugged a gaming system and hid it in our laundry room the other day because I couldn't take it anymore. Or fighting over a deer antler shed. Conversely.
Well, I mean, the harassment issue that Keegan just brought up is obviously a big one,
Legit.
and one that states take seriously, because there's states, Western states that have shedding antler seasons due to people getting in there and trying to find antlers and putting stress on these animals in the hardest months, early or late winter, early spring. Like those animals have not had nutrition for a while, and then you go in there and you're just looking for sheds, but you bump a herd of 50 elk out and they traverse over the ridge and down here. Like they're expending energy that if we hadn't done that, they wouldn't need to.
Mhm.
And
It's a
for some
natural
of them at the end of the winter, like that can be enough to push them over the edge. So like the harassment part is, I can see where I haven't really thought about that, like just filming them,
Mhm.
but like I can see how that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a good point to leave us with, Keegan. Do thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good to hear from you.
When are you coming to Wisconsin, dude?
I was going to be up there right now, but the lovely weather decided to keep me down south for a few days. So I got to head up this week and come get some stuff from the house and then head out.
You want to help us move in on Saturday? Let's go, man.
If Saturday's the day that I'm coming through, I would love to.
I mean, if nothing else, you can come see the place if you're gonna be around. Might as well. But let us know, man.
Sounds good. Great to talk to you guys.
Likewise.
Miss
buddy.
you, bud. See ya.
All right, we got 2 more callers.
Excellent. Good.
In line. We're gonna try to move them along a little bit quicker.
It's always interesting hearing Keegan's perspective because
good
like he's a
perspective.
good outdoorsman, but he's like constantly watching people do what we do, like
Yeah.
hunting, right? Like, see, I think you just have a little bit of a different lens.
It's nice.
It's cool.
Hey, Noah, you're live on the show. What's you said you're calling about some trail camera stuff. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, it's yeah, hey guys.
Hey.
How's it feel? Last in this studio.
Yeah, we're not super attached to it.
Luckily, it hasn't been that
I think
long.
it felt like a bigger deal moving out of the basement into this, moving from this to the next one. The next one just is ripe with way more opportunity, anyways.
It's
And we have a
sweet.
longer runway there, so like
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
fair.
yeah, and it's right by Whale Tails, so it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, you guys will like it.
It'll be fun. I'm sure everyone's gonna be peering in the windows.
Yeah.
This is the new Case Hunter studio. Yeah, but sorry, let's let you get into it.
Yeah, I was just hearing you guys talk about trail cams and stuff, and obviously I use a bunch on my land. I don't really do much on the public. My kind of thoughts of it are, I think these states, they should allow them on private. Obviously it's your land. You should be able to do what you want to do on your land. I do support, at the very least, not allowing cell cams on public. If you're going to have stuff out there, do the work to get out there and, change SD cards, try not to disturb the animals.
There's the argument though, right? Like there's,
Less
if you got
disturbance.
50 guys on a big piece of public and you're going after SD cams, changing cards every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, you now have way more disturbance than a cell cam or 50 cell cams that no one's going to check. That's one of the arguments that I've heard pretty often.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point too.
It's good to talk about stuff.
Yeah, because
like I hadn't heard that argument.
Yeah.
Like this is why I love dialogue and I love an environment that welcomes it, because we can round this thing out a little bit more, and then you have a little more clear mind about it because you're hearing alternative perspectives.
well, our buddy Brian from Good Sit Mobile down in Illinois has been doing a pretty good job of defending why cell cams on public should be allowed, should be legal.
Him and Byron should go at it then.
Yeah, I think they have been in a couple of the comment
in a
sections.
nice way, I would prefer that.
But like they both bring good. So Brian, that's one of Brian's points, and he's absolutely right. Cell cameras require less in the woods, boots on the ground, right? Like it's not going in and being disturbed. You're going in once, then you're done. The other thing that he's arguing, and this would be public or private, really, but it's saving more deer than it's killing. Meaning, when you know what's there, you're more selective when you're hunting.
That's like using dogs
I'm not
when you're
shooting a
bear
little
hunting.
one, not shooting a little one.
Sure.
Yep. Let it go because there's a bigger one there. Whereas if you had no camera, obviously, or an SD camera, you didn't check it, you might be more apt to shoot whatever walks by, which I'm not concerned. We're not too concerned with what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
shoot
yeah.
anyway,
Well, yeah.
but that's the argument from a conservation standpoint that you're holding out more deer are living because people are more selective.
But private land's like
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want the government telling me what to do. I certainly don't want them telling me what to do on my own fucking land.
Nah.
You know what I mean? But you still have to follow laws.
Yeah, and I see the point. The less disturbance. I also see it as maybe like discouraging some. I don't want to say discouraging public land use, but at least like keeping people local to their
Oh,
public land.
Yes, you're
So
saying.
then maybe they're more interested in keeping their own public land nice, having some stake in it, rather than, oh, hey, I'm just going to go bust through this woods 3 hours away from me and screw it up for everybody else who can't make that trip. You get what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I think so. To the degree, and I might be wrong, or so tell me, like, get me on the track here. But if you're hunting private land, you'd be de-incentivized if you can't put cell cams out on public land in such a way that I think some folks that own private land have notably said things like, I don't want to like burn my private parcel up or hit it when it's not the right time. So I'll go burn up public land because who cares? It's public land. So maybe in essence, by not having cell cams out on public, you'd be less incentivized to go burn up public. You'd probably maybe sit on your own property more. Is that what you're saying? Or am I saying something different?
I mean, that's kind of the same lines. I'm more saying like, for guys that'll just put up like 50 trail cameras like all over the state and just be like super selective, and burning up just whatever public land.
Shame.
and like, I just feel like if you stay local, it's like having some more.
You're more invested in your
like,
locale.
ownership of your,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then look at
more-
man, like
more
you
like
could just
ownership
continue
of
to
your
like
local.
you could continue to spiderweb out and have more arguments. Like if I'm traveling to, I don't know, Blue Mountain or something like that, because there's public land out in Governor Dodge. I'm making this up. Like now I'm gonna frequent that quick trip. Like look at me spread my dollars all over the state. Like maybe I'm gonna get a hotel room out
That's
there.
fair.
I'm gonna buy more gas. Like maybe not. Like but or a campsite. Like so then there's economic things. This is just really. I don't have a compass on this conversation,
All right.
so I apologize because we're just
Well, yeah,
blowing all over
let's-
the seed.
we're-
And we have
we're-
another caller backed up behind
I
you.
just want to
too, though,
ask. I want to
so-
ask Noah one more thing, and
Okay.
this will be less theoretical, right? Because we're just kind of
Thank
throwing
you.
darts at the wall here. But Noah, in your experience
Yeah.
running cell cams on your property, what have they done for you? Like, have they helped you hunt? Have they helped you be more selective? Is it like what's the benefit? What have you personally like felt using them?
I mean, it's been with those. It's been nice just to like my private land is 3 hours away up north. So it's been nice just to kind of see like when there's deer movement, when they're using the land. So then I can plan my hunts around that. Like, oh, they're mostly here in the mornings. So I might not do as many afternoon hunts, or hey, I haven't seen them all week. I might not go up this weekend.
A lot of logistics it's helped with.
Yeah, that's how it's helped me on my private land. And then on a less wildlife note, it was really funny seeing, it's up by the Wausau area. So with all this snow, I had a picture Friday of like no snow on the trails. And then the next day I saw like the 2 feet difference. Same camera. So.
Yeah, just observing wildlife in general with cell cams is just cool. Like, oh, the turkeys, oh, the raccoons, oh, a
Mhm.
bobcat, like, oh, beaver or otter. Like, it's just neat.
And there's not many private landowners that I personally know that don't have a cell cam pointed at like the main entrance of their property. Like
Yeah.
if you got a gate or a driveway,
Mhm.
right? Like you want to know who's
Mhm.
doing what in or around your spot. So I definitely think that's nice to have that real-time information on a non-hunting side of it. But that's got to give some peace of mind.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
Thanks for helping us chew on this more. Like,
Yeah,
this
thank you,
feels like
Noah.
an episode 1. We're probably have to like circle back on this stuff. We have a stronger opinion formed on like hearing all these thoughts. But yeah, are you gonna be at the Sportsman's Expo, Noah?
Yep, I will be there.
Come say hi, bud. You know where to find us.
Oh yeah, I'll see you guys there.
All right. see
All
you,
right,
man.
later, Noah.
Yep, see you guys.
All right, last caller for the night, because we got sick kids.
Again.
Jacob, you're live on the show. What do you got to add to this
It's
odd combo?
it's a really good thing that you guys picked someone so brief for the last one. Lord knows I don't like to talk at all. So.
Oh.
Have you met Noah
We all like laughed at me.
in person?
What's up?
Have you met our last caller? Oh, you're our last caller, but have you met?
No. I'm saying I'm the last caller and I'm not brief.
Yeah, I got it now. But I was also like, oh, have you? I'm wondering if you met Noah
I would
because
never make someone.
I was thinking, I was like, wow, is this even the right Jacob?
You're like, this Jacob's a douche.
I'm like, 'cause Noah's a pretty big man. So like,
Yeah, if you meet Noah in person, you don't talk shit.
no, shut your fucking mouth.
No, I meant brief, as in like
Yeah.
You're trying to wrap up the podcast. And,
No, we're just a bunch of idiots.
I'll go. Well, you're in good company with me then. So I'll go kind of rapid fire here. I'll touch on trail cameras, but I'll go right back with we were talking about crossbows earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is something that people don't bring up, which is to me the major area of concern. The reason we get in trouble with crossbows is that this is the first time that we don't have to discover the weapon's limitations by trial and error. So their effectiveness, when literally anyone picks it up, is beyond an ethical hunting situation's range. It's past the reaction time of deer from the moment you pick it up. And you can't reach those limits the first time you pick up any other archery weapon. So when you first pick up a longbow or a compound or a recurve or whatever, you are not immediately able to exceed an ethical situation. So in your practice with getting to know the bow and getting to know your own effective range, you're also just going further into the limit of what you might be able to do in an ethical hunting scenario. So if you're not that good with that weapon, you can't make a bad decision. And as you grow more experience shooting deer and practicing and things like that, you realize through practice that, man, that shot tore left because of the wind, or that shot tore left because of this or that. And you realize, wow, I really don't have 100% control over this situation right now. So when an animal's hand, an animal's life is in my hands, I'm going to make a better decision because I've seen this happen 100 times already to get to the point that I'm comfortable pursuing an animal with this weapon. With a crossbow, you can pick that thing up and you can hit a bullseye within 6 inches at 100 yards and a good rest, and you don't have to trial and error up to, an effective range at a deer. I feel like that's the thing that is missed a lot in these discussions, is that it's the first time we've been more capable than ethically, we can afford.
The technology of a crossbow has. So I always have to just echo things back to like make sure I understand it. So I apologize for any listeners that are like, yeah, I already got it, dude. But in videography, our eyes in all these new TVs and stuff that are out, like they're 8K, right? I think there's actually some that are beyond that now. I don't know what that is, but let's just say 8K for right now. That's better than what the eye can visualize. And so then what happens in like editing software and things like that, you have to add in motion blur because it's so unnatural to see something at 8K that our brain can't process, because when we turn our head really fast, blurriness is happening. It's wired into how our brain perceives it. So when we see something that good, it's like beyond our capability of seeing it. So I think of the crossbow taking us beyond our actual capability. We're not meant to be capable of shooting that far. We don't have anything that has like some sort of mechanical nature to it, like a compound or a longbow. Our stuff factors into such a degree that limits us. The crossbow takes us beyond our limits personally. And I think I'm doing a good job of this. I don't know. Like it's bringing us along further than we're supposed to go.
Yeah. Like let's say to me, so we also talked about this the last couple times that I was on. We talked about like having your own ethical and moral standards and establishing those for yourself And, you know, ethics and morals are a personal thing and law is a societal thing. So like you need to define what you are willing to do or what is right to you. And that is a separate thing from what is legally allowed.
Within the
So a lot of
confines of the
people
law.
are saying like,
Yeah.
right. A lot of people are saying like use whatever weapon because it's legal. And to me, like we should be more stringent with ourselves than just, well, even if it's like, if it's legal, it's good. You know, I can still be the biggest jerk in the history of the world and probably still operate under the law 99% of the time. Does that make it right? In my opinion, no. But to some people, they just want to say, well, I guess it's legal and I completely trust our lawmakers. So like, I'm going to go for it. To me, what I'm trying to say is like, when you pick up a crossbow, you are capable of making a shot that within a deer's reaction time, within the influence of the wind, all the other things, you can accurately put an arrow where you intend to, but that deer might not be where you intended to hit by the time the arrow reaches it, no matter how fast it's shooting. And so people can, the second they pick up that weapon, shoot 10 shots at your local archery shop to make sure everything's on the up and up, and then they can go out there and use it. And so they don't understand through all the shots you'd have to do in your backyard or all the interaction you'd have to have with someone teaching you form and stuff like that. You get to discover, okay, this weapon is limited by this, and these bad things can happen if I do this. Or you don't start by shooting something at 20 yards and then work your way back eventually over years of failure. You know, maybe you wound an animal and you realize how bad that really is.
So you actually get better
you know, you
ethics
get
by
the
having
tool.
some poor ones, but poor ones are because of ignorance of it. Like you're learning ethics
Right.
by learning ethics, you know, which is quite interesting way
Right.
to think about it. I love quoting Stoicism while I'm on the podcast, but Marcus Aurelius said, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. And so I think you're someone that seems to hold that value, that quote, or the embodiment of it, because at some point I can't police what the hell everyone else is doing. I'll be tolerant with you, but maybe I do want to be strict with myself, you know?
Yeah. And then to tap into trail cameras, now that I've rambled my piece on crossbows, Derek, and I think Eric, you know this too, but I've had a ton of trail cameras get stolen as of the
I saw
last
your
couple of years. I think
post
I've
the
had
last couple of days.
I've had 7 or 9 stolen this year, and 7 or 9 being SDs and cameras. I think I've had 4 cameras stolen this year, and of the 4, 2 of them were locked in 3/6 high. So
And they were still taken, locks
it's
cut,
tough.
taken down.
Was your name
Oh,
on
yeah,
them?
no,
Like,
they-
did someone
they
not
ripped
like
them
you?
off of the-
Like, that's Jacob's camera.
No, they just rip them off of the cable. There's usually I hunt in places where there's big deer, and usually where there's big deer, there are also big jerks. And I think some of it sometimes is like people retaliating. So like they think that someone that they know hunts the area did it, and so they're just going to retaliate and lash out because they had one of their cameras stolen, and they're just going to steal everything in the area, and they don't realize they're hurting a ton of people. And you know, it's just like a snowball effect. It's almost like a niche cultural zone, and then you can put cameras and at hip height on some properties, and people just go by and wave, and you're like, oh my God, this would be stolen 1,000 times on another property. You know, you don't always have the choice to hang them high. You don't always have the budget cameras aren't always the ones you can lock. I think that most of the people I know that run a ton of cell cameras are solely running them because they don't get stolen. Because most people figure out that even if I take this camera, it's not really useful to me. Now, they still take the cards because they want the cards every now and then. If they feel like they're not going to get caught, usually they'll get caught on the camera and they'll come back on another day and take your card. Or sometimes if they can't take the card or the camera, they'll smash the camera. So like if it's a Moultrie and it doesn't have a SD card slot, they'll just smash the camera. And that way it's not useful. And those are scum of the earth people, you know, but that kind of protects us from theft a little bit on public land. I
held
don't
the
really think
belief.
it's right for,
I held the belief that a cell cam would be stolen because, like, I got you, bitch. Like, if you didn't see me first, I got a picture of you. If this camera's gone, like, good luck dealing with the internet groups, you know, kind of thing. Like, I think
they can
in my
come back
mind,
in 2
that's
weeks.
and then they're GPS track. But again, I think people have found ways to flip something off or whatever. But I've often wondered, like, I got one stolen this year, a cell cam.
Yeah, and like
So I was like, oh, wow. What happened? You know,
Bo had one. He had a cell cam on his lease in Illinois that we shed hunt, which
Private.
was stolen. And I think a lot of times, and this is just speculation. Jacob probably has seen this or knows more about this than I do, but I think a lot of times when people are having cell cams stolen off public, I think a lot of times people know that that camera is not going to be useful. It's already registered.
Mhm.
They're just throwing them in the woods or in the garbage or just chucking
Yeah.
them just to spite you or just to go, well, I don't want this guy to know that this big deer's moving when he is. So like, screw that guy. I'm just going to wreck his shit. Like that's what I get out of it.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Most popular is they shoot it or they smash it with a climbing stick.
Yep.
Is usually the way that the cell cameras disappear, and you find fragments and crap. I'm going to start gluing broken antennas to my SD cameras to try and deter people a little bit. But as far as like private versus public with cameras, I don't really think it's right to like for us to impose logic that would say, okay, because a public land hunter hunts like this, or because this is how public land works, or this is how private land works, we should or shouldn't allow it. You know, like we've proven, and you know, especially if you hunt in other states, every state has an area where there's dog crap for deer and there's a ton of giant deer. You know, like every state has I'm trying to say, a wide range of possible outcomes, you know, in a given area. There's just so much land, you know, and it's really hard to say that all of public land is like this, you know, and all of public land hunters hunt like this. So cell cams are good for them and they're not good for private landers, or the reverse, where cell cams are not good for public landers to use and it's better for private landers to use. I think it'd be better and certainly be received better by the public if the law was the same on public as it is private. And I think there's some pieces of public I've hunted that are way better than any piece of private I've ever hunted. And there's some pieces of private that are just ridiculously easy to dial in. And, you know, they're bad most of the year and you can go there in a certain week during the rut and almost guarantee yourself a buck. You know, it's so hard to say, I'm going to take all those scenarios that I've hunted and say that this is the right way to govern all of them. You know, and I already know I have a minute amount of experience compared to all the different flavors of public and private there is out there. But also the vast majority of land is private land. So, you know, if we do make a law about this, and we give private land more access to something that we believe helps kill deer, like cell cameras, then we are having a greater implication on the species through private land than we ever would on public.
Here's
you know,
my
there's the argument that public land gets used by more people, but
yeah, I guess my take on that, because you brought up some really good points, and this is where like this discussion can go a million different ways. But I think my take on it is I could see there'd be a law banning cell cams or all trail cams on a public property, not with the intent of doing anything with the deer herd per se, like it makes it too easy to kill. I could see them banning it due to implications of human behavior due to cameras, like the smashing, the like this and that, like it's becoming too much of an eyesore or they're everywhere in a lot of these properties. I could see them doing something to go off of that and then allowing them to still run on private property, which although it seems like a, you know, like an uneven scale there, but I would be for it because I don't think the government, I don't think that should be their decision what you do on your private land. I think if you own land, that's your decision how you use it. It's tricky with like, because everyone's engaging in the same activity, but I could see that working. And to be honest, I would be okay with that. I personally would be.
Well, I'd be okay with camera bans too. I think it would help me way more than it would help the average person. Like, because you and me, Derek,
it'd be a lot less
definitely
stressful.
put in the
Like
work to-
your FOMO would like.
Oh,
It's like look, if they make the decision for us, that'd probably feel a lot better.
It would feel better.
Because like, you know, just like cash flow is liquid. Like, oh, like you start to earn more money, you think I'll just bank that money, and then ends up you spend it, and you're like, wait, what? And so you just continue to grow into the debt load or the cash flow or whatever. And in this case, it's like, well, if the technology is available, I might as well use it. And then suddenly you're getting like, you know, neurotic about your phone lighting up at 2 a.m. because it could be a buck. Turns out it was just a raccoon. But now you're like
that's the
thinking
thing
about
too,
it.
Derek. So you said like your land, you know, being private land.
Yep.
Public land's our land too, though. So like it
Yeah,
is,
we're paying for it.
there's a lot of people my age that are almost certain, probably including myself, that will never own a private hunting, acreage. I don't know, looking at what it would take for me to retire even at 60 years old and all that, I can't ever imagine a state where I would be able to afford anything above 10 acres of private land, just with the way things are trending, in society nowadays, unless it was handed down to you or whatever. So like, we could say like, yeah, private land's their land, but man, public is all I'm ever going to have, I think. So
Don't sell yourself short.
It
You're an
is
ambitious fella, but yes, I hear the logic in what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're an ambitious guy, and you're gonna make your dough there. But let's be honest here, Jacob. I'm gonna tell you the same thing my dad has always told me when I told him we should buy some good hunting land. He said you would be so freaking bored in the first week of hunting a 40-acre piece, Derek. My dad used to tell me that, and Jacob, I know you'd be the same. You would still be out pounding the public because you would be like, oh, I don't want to wait. Like, let's go find one. So it's not all that it's cracked up to be all the time.
Yeah, then you get caught up in
Yeah,
food plots and
don't
soft
remove my
edges
ability to make excuses for not killing one.
Yeah, right. That's so funny.
That's why we do it.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been a good discussion. What are you doing on Saturday, big strong man?
I'm going to be at the Illinois Deer Classic for Osseo.
Oh, cool.
personally.
Yeah, see, he's a model.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
otherwise I would really love to stop over.
Are they going to make you pose the whole time, or do you get to
Right.
talk?
Are you just gonna be a
Drink
dressed
beer.
mannequin, or what's the deal?
Yeah, they're doing a new lingerie for Osseo.
Yeah, but they probably gave you a size too small to really show off the guns.
Send Eric and I some sneak peeks.
I will be at the Wisconsin Sportsman's Expo with Osseo
Oh, great.
again
We'll see you there.
too.
Yeah,
So I will see you guys there.
good times.
I'm gonna talk to my taxidermist and see if I can get that albino buck there. I don't know if it will be done in time.
Oh, that would be
Are
cool.
you gonna hang it at the Osseo booth, or do you want to home it in our studio spot or booth, whatever? It's called?
Osseo, I will see what their booth looks like this weekend. They typically don't have a place to hang a deer. So I could, if that albino one's done. If not, I'll just bring the buck I shot this last year potentially, because it looks like a horse. And
Yeah, the heifer
it
with
makes
antlers, the
racket
heifer
very
with
small
antlers.
public.
Dude, that thing is so big.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It looks like a turkey fan.
Oh,
like
dude.
the,
Oh,
the, the
wow.
mount, like the,
Yeah,
the shoulder looks
It's
like
long.
bigger around than a
Jeez.
freaking whiskey barrel.
good times. Well, yeah, I guess we'll
I'll
see you in a
send
couple
picture of
weeks,
it right
man.
now.
But I'll let you off
Yeah,
the let you off the line
I
here,
will,
and we're gonna bring the plane in for land, and we got sick kids we got to get.
Thanks
back
for
on to.
calling, buddy. Appreciate it.
yeah. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see
buddy.
ya.
I always feel like the Wisconsin Nice Me has a really hard time hanging up on people. But it is what it is. Here we are.
You
I think
got,
it's a
you
good
got
episode, man.
kids. Yeah, you got kids who are got the stomach bug. You got to get home.
All right, folks.
Thanks for calling in. It was good chat.
Covered all the stuff in the beginning, so you don't have to do it now. And we'll see you around. If you're coming to the Wisconsin Sportsman Show, come find us. The booth number, I don't know. You'll figure it out. It's probably better for you to find it than me to tell you, because I'll tell you the wrong thing. And I don't know. That's it for today.